Dude, so what do we got to talk about today?
We are going to talk about writing irresistible headlines.
Awesome. And how important now, Joel, just so if my people don't know, you work with clients who create tons of revenue online through content and strategy and blogs and things like that. So why is this important for your people, especially?
Yeah, so that's all we do is help our clients create content without compromising their voice. And so we are writing thousands of headlines a year in content and, social, all these different things. And you can't get past the headline. You never read the content, right? So I don't remember who said it, but the most important goal is to get the people to read the headline, right? And then read the first sentence. And if they read the first sentence, they're going to read the second. And so that headline is the biggest piece of it. If they don't read it, they'll never get past it if they don't click on it. So it's the biggest thing. It's not over exaggerating to say you should spend as much time on your headline as you do on your the rest of your content.
100%. Actually, we found a stat in running our posts. We've created over 20,000 pieces of content, and the headline and image, 90% of the traffic's going to come from that. And
yes.
So big, really, really important. And in fact, when I talk to companies, you would be surprised how many that I talk to that have millions of dollars in funding. And they're like, I'm like, do you have a blog? Do you have content? Well, we haven't gotten there yet. And it's like, for me, it blew up my mind, just blah.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're missing the biggest asset you could possibly have. And that's communication. You can't do things without communicating at all.
Could not agree more.
Yeah. And so what I wanted to do today, this is why, so if you guys are watching, Joel and I are like, dude, we got to share this. It is so powerful. It'll radically change your business overnight if you start applying some principles instantly. And we're talking not just readers, we're talking revenue, because you're talking to people. So we've drawn a ton of revenue. Our company, IHeartDogs, we again 20,000 pieces of content, Inc. 500, Inc. 5,000, all this stuff. And so we wanted to go into that. So Joel and I put together an outline. We said we're going to do this for people. We're going to pump it out. And so I think we have 5 points. Is that about right?
Yep.
Okay. So let's do this. So
awesome.
If you guys are watching, you're going to get a ton of value very fast. It's going to be like a fire hose, and we hope that we can add a ton of value to what you're doing. So the question we wanted to answer is, why is it important?
Yes.
Why is it critical?
So we said building trust, connecting emotionally and mentally with the prospect. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So here's the thing. We're in a world where there's trillions of websites. Okay. So say you want to start a business or you're writing content for the first time or whatever. How do you stand out? People need to trust you, especially in the era of fake news. There's so much fake out there. It's hard to tell. In fact, everything can be doctored. So you got to build trust early. Trust then will walk people into a relationship with you. And then when there's a relationship, things can happen. Sales, products, services, whatever. And then I think that the next step is we're people. We're wired for connection. Communication is how we do that, written and verbal.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to connect emotionally. We want to connect mentally with people. And that's why there's a lot of mom bloggers out there who have a huge following. They're doing millions a year as a mom blogger because they're able to connect with their audience. That's their gift.
That's why every recipe starts with a huge story. When you click on Pinterest, I was just making some amazing salmon last night from a recipe on Pinterest. Salmon topped with shrimp. It was unbelievable.
Man, the surf and surf.
Yep, surf and surf. Yep, that's exactly right. I love that. But the first part of it was all establishing the entire story, right?
Yeah, and it's a recipe. But the point is, people go, well, I like them. I connect with them. Mm-hmm. So it's extremely important. And I think that what it also allows you to do is to grease the environment. And what I mean by that is in social. So it comes down to an ROI. So anyone's watching this that spends money on marketing, the better your headline, the less you're going to pay, period. So on social media, we run 100 Facebook pages with 20 million followers. When we write a piece and our headline's great, we pay, our cost for people to come read is drastically less. In fact, there were times, and we still do this, where we actually can spend a penny or spend 3 cents per click and make 2 cents per click because our headlines are so good, we can get people into content and make money that way. And so they are everything in a social environment. Content is everything. Headlines are extremely important, for sure. And then Thumbstopper was the other one.
Yeah.
And this is a term I heard. I love this. It's like, you are like, I read once that if you wanted to digest your entire feed on Facebook, it would take you 10 hours at least. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you want to do is you want to be able to stop somebody. Most people are mobile devices. Most traffic is mobile. The key is headlines will make you stop. They're a great way to get people to lean into your content. They can't read it if they can't find it. If they don't stop for it, they're not going to read it.
Yes. Love that. So let's talk about how to do that. We have 5 quick ways.
Yep.
First one is work backwards from the promotion piece. So start with the end game first.
Right.
And
so
yeah, go for it.
Oh no, I was gonna say our strategy and everyone's is different. Is the headline comes first because the headline ties into strategy. So we don't write the piece then headline it. In fact, we headline it first. So that way we know what we have to deliver on.
I call that like your compass.
Yes,
right?
It is a compass.
That's
the headline first, right? And then we make sure like, is this headline going to move in social or move online? Is it going to attract the right people? And then we make sure that in the content we deliver that headline promise. So we start with the end in mind for sure.
Awesome. Okay. So, and I also call that like building your marketing into the content. Mm-hmm. So that's really about getting super, super specific on who you want to attract, how you're going to appeal to them, like the angle of the post, how you're actually going to promote the post. If it's going to be heavy on social, if it's going to be through email, like thinking about what is going to get the person to either open that or click on it, in social. So that kind of leads into the second one, which is use your audience's language, use their own words.
Yep. This is powerful. So like for us, we do that a lot. So this is a tactic for everybody. We like to look where people are talking to each other. Forums, Amazon, Facebook. Look what words they're using for each other, and mirror those words, because that's that dialogue that they're going to understand. By using their dialogue and the phrases they use and the words they use, you become one of them, and that's a huge, huge thing.
You had a great story about moving to California from the East Coast.
Yes. So I'm in sunny Southern California, and when I moved from the East Coast to here, everyone used the word dude. Dude. It's a term of endearment, right? But East Coast, I had no idea. So when someone said dude to me, I just didn't understand like what that meant. Like, it's like, okay, what? But now that I'm here, I understand when we use the word dude or whatever. Hey, dude, it's more of a term of endearment, like, hey, brother. So by using that language, I also become part of that culture. And so by using your prospect's language, you will become part of their culture. So don't use your words, use their words to talk to them.
So give me one specific actual like tactic. And I keep looking back here because I've got our mascot, you can see right here.
Sleeping.
That's Roscoe. Oh, there he is.
I love that.
And he keeps he only comes in when I'm shooting a video.
Of course. That's how it works.
Or if I'm on the phone.
Right.
Okay. So I'm just going to put you on the spot, super specific, example and tactic. Like, do you have a tool? Like, what do you do to quickly figure that out? I know there is no quick, but
no, I like Facebook. I look at Facebook. I join Facebook groups that my customers are in, and I look at how they talk with each other.
So you're just reading through, no shortcut, just reading through.
Right. Yeah. And
trying
also
to find trends, examples.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. My best ideas come from there. And then here's an example. When people in the pet world, the way they talk to their animal is reminiscent of the relationship that they have with that animal. Right. So one of the words we use a lot is the word pup. Now you wouldn't think that was a big deal, but actually pup is more of is language that our audience uses because it's more like a child. It's a positive, optimistic word, a youthful word, and that's how they want to remember their pet, as a pup. So even if it's a senior, you're like, oh, my pup, and you're kind of honoring their life and you're honoring their relationship. And so we use the word pup a lot.
I'm showing your blog right there, and here it is: 9 homemade dog treats for spoiling your pup.
There you go. And so that we found that word for audience connects with them. So that's from research. So that's an example of that's how they use. When we talk to them, we're one of them when we use the word that they use.
Awesome. Love it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, we do the exact same thing. And I'll use a keyword scraper or a keyword tool, or just I'm in the, if I think I'm seeing something, maybe it's the word dude or pup or something, I just Command F and I'm searching through so I have kind of a hypothesis. Okay, people are maybe using this. And then I do kind of a search either inside the Facebook group or just using, Command F. And seeing where else they're using it and the context they're using it in.
Totally. And if you guys don't know, Joel's more like a surgeon with his tactics. I'm kind of like a demolitions person where I just go in like, bah! Like a bull in a china shop. That's just how I'm wired. But Joel's amazing at tactics and driven. So he has a lot of processes.
I want to systematize it. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll include some links in that too. So people can see the tools that you use.
Yeah. Definitely. So the third commandment or rule is reward thy click. And here's what we mean on that is really your headline is a promise, and your copy, the actual article, better deliver on that. You're setting an expectation with that headline that, especially if it's really good, those pup treats that you're, just promised in your headline better be amazing, because there's no faster way to
lose credibility.
Credibility with your audience than have a clickbaity title and crappy content.
Yeah, and we were talking about this earlier. Like clickbait actually works. Like when you grab someone and you intrigue them with something, and then you deliver on it, it's actually a wonderful experience. It's like it's kind of like the ice cream truck. You call them in, and then all of a sudden you're going to deliver something really, really good to them. When you don't do that, that's where you lose all credibility.
Right.
And so whatever your headline is, even no matter how good it is, it has to deliver on the promise that it promises. Right. And
how do we do that?
So I think that's how we talk about reverse engineering. You know what I mean? We make sure that we can deliver. And we've talked about some other strategies too. But I think the key is that when you read the copy, you want to make sure you want to ask that question. Does this headline, does this copy deliver what I'm promising?
So this is a whole nother talk that we'll have to do another time. Like, of course you need to have amazing content, but we'll talk about that some other time. But assuming you have great content, another huge thing of it, for it is formatting, making sure that your post is scannable, like that you have even the right font size. You have subheadings breaking it up that act as signposts that kind of tell the person what's coming up and where they've been. You have small paragraphs that are punchy, one idea per paragraph, no more than 2 to 3 sentences long. Those types of things just make for an effortless reading experience for the person. You want to make it as frictionless as possible.
Yeah. And here's one way you could figure out what people are reading. Look at where a lot of your audience is actually consuming content. So if it's Medium, if they're younger or whatever, or if it's like Reader's Digest, like if they're older, right? Look, they're spending millions of dollars in figuring out how to communicate to people. And I like to borrow stuff. So let them do the work. I'm gonna look at it. If it works, I'm gonna copy it. So and remember, it's like when you're reading, what I try to do is knowing that I'm trying to learn how people consume content the easiest. Read a variety of publications and then have a mental switch when you realize, because sometimes you'll be like, I'll read something and I'll think, and if I'm aware of that of it, then it helps inform me. I'll think oh wow, that was really easy to read. And then I'll be like, okay, that's the kind of format we're looking for. So look what your audience is reading. You can get that in Google Analytics. It'll tell you other sites they're involved in. There's a lot of tools online. Quantcast, I think, is another one. It'll say sites that they're visiting, right? Look how they're written. They're writing for that audience. And then I would look at mirroring that, because they're going to do all the hard work, and then you can benefit from the tactics that they've rolled out.
Love that. Yeah. No reason to reinvent the wheel.
Ever.
Find what has already been done and just do that. And that's the best skill you can have. I call it being relentlessly resourceful.
Right.
You're awesome at figuring it out quick if you don't know the answer, because someone else does.
Right. 100%.
Awesome. Yeah. So commandment number 4 is to add your keyword naturally into your headline. And this is something I do a lot more than you probably, Marshall.
Right.
You write a lot more for social. I write a lot more for search. But I am a firm believer that you need to always write for people over robots, humans over robots. I never write just for search engines. That kind of content is complete junk. And if it's not natural, if you can't find a way to do it, then don't, because that will It doesn't matter if you have an amazing post, no one clicks on it, doesn't matter if you have
At
a
all.
keyword stuff post. So you can't just, add it, tack it on and call it good. You won't rank for it. You actually have to, it has to be in the title and throughout the content in the right places, right? But what we do is we are looking for what the keyword is. We choose that first. So for example, on my own blog, I wanted to rank for automated email sequences. So I wrote a post about 9 simple but powerful automated email sequences for service businesses. And that kind of hits super specific. It has, it's kind of tangible. It tells them we're giving away these actual sequences, which we do. And it has that keyword right in the middle, right? And it was a super hard keyword, but we ranked for it because we built it around there. So a quick process to think about is actually choosing one that you can feasibly rank for. And a great tool for that is using like Ahrefs or Moz or SEMrush. But
I love how many tools you have, man. I love it. People are gonna we gotta put a list because man. But I agree with you too. I'll tell you, just on the other side of it,
please
do content because our site ranks really well in search. So when we publish content, it hits search pretty quickly. We have so much content out there. So people want to write for our site for SEO purposes. And when they email me and the title, like 90% of the time when they're just trying to keyword stuff, it's just horrendous. It's like no one talks like that. No one reads like that. So like while they're trying to do good by their site and creating content, they're killing opportunities by being too forceful in how they interject keywords.
That's huge. Yes. Doesn't help anybody.
Right.
So one last thing on that is everybody wants to rank for these monster short tail. What I mean by that is there's short tail and long tail. Short tail is like the word, content or marketing, or content marketing. Long tail would be like content marketing email sequences for small business owners. The longer, 4 words or longer, it's probably a long tail keyword. But what I always recommend is prioritize intent over volume. And what I mean by that is somebody that just searches content marketing could be searching for absolutely anything, right? They could be searching to learn more about it. It could be for a school paper. It could be to learn strategies. It could be to understand what the heck it is. But content marketing email sequences for small business owners, you know exactly what the intent of that person is. Like it can't vary too much when you get that specific.
Right.
So go for more specific because you will get less volume, but you will get much higher qualified prospects.
Yeah, and I was speaking of this from our world, which is readers and e-commerce, like that's the business, is what we found from an ROI perspective for all you guys listening, you will make more money, okay, if you write content for specific people.
Yes.
It's exactly what you're talking about because, like, for example, say we're writing about joint care in dogs, right? And specifically senior dogs. Like if we add that, hey, joint care for dogs over 7 or something, right? Like we have less readers, but the conversion of people who are buying the supplements to help their pets is radically higher. So on the front end, I think that's the problem is it looks good because it's quick, it's easy, and maybe there's a lot more volume. And I think a lot of agencies will front load. They'll do that just to show some evidence of performance when it really doesn't help the business long term. Yep. So it's all about quality over quantity, 100%. And that's everywhere in life, by the way. That's not some new principle. That's like quality means everything, whether it's your writing too. So like we were at a time where we're putting out 15 pieces a day, and we had to stop and say, hey, look, what's the quality? So we've actually pared down quite a bit, maybe 60-70%, and the quality is there. So it's less traffic but higher quality. So always quality.
Yeah. That's just the quantity is just a vanity metric. Doesn't matter if it's not targeted.
Right.
All right. Last commandment, which is command authority early.
Yes. We both are a big proponent of this. I'm gonna tell you exactly how we do it, and you can talk about how you instruct your clients, you work with the clients on it.
Hit me.
For us, it is when we bring someone in, especially certain topics like health, as an example. Like you want authority earlier. There's a lot of topics. What we'll do is this is a tactical thing. So we'll have content. The headline's great. We've talked about that. It delivers or it has a promise, or it intrigues them and it makes them stop to lean into it. They're there. Really quickly, we will try to assert authority by using other authority. So here's an example. So say we talk about healthcare or joint care in dogs. I'm just giving you an example. We might say, hey, Dr. So-and-so did this study at Cornell University about da-da-da-da, the result was this, and then kind of go into piece. By putting authority, someone else's authority, into the first couple sentences, it greatly increases trust, and it gives you're borrowing their authority. You're borrowing from them. And you want to do it in a legit way, in a positive way, in a way that makes sense for you and your brand, and you don't want to do it in a way where people are like, why did you even bring that up? But like, if you want to bring in new readers and assert authority, that you are an authority and you can be trusted, use other people's authority in a way that makes sense with the content early on.
I couldn't agree more. Borrow authority.
Yeah.
And give them credit. And it's a great way to build relationships with people when you seek out their work and then you reach out to them and say, thank you so much for that. Like, it's a fantastic way to build these lasting relationships. I think the one big rule that I have is to never make a point without backing it up with some kind of statistic, research, study, whatever it is, because a list of points without anything backing them up is just opinions. That's all. Like,
there's a lot of opinions online.
Right?
Too many, probably.
So true. And so, especially if people don't know who you are, like, who's to say, like, who cares what you say then? Like, you have to back it up, and you have to actually earn that authority by citing other people's work, because yours doesn't matter. If you
you also show that it's also something you do there's a psychological component that you're not wasting their time. So like, you're not just filling a page with content. Right. Like, and also to add authority requires research. Research requires time. And so the more time it feels like you've put on a piece, the more dedicated you are, the more reliable you are as a source, the more trusted you are, and the more authority you have. Because people who care about what they're saying will make sure that they put the knowledge and thought into it. So if you're just spitting out contents, that's one thing. But if you actually have sources and you've done the research, there's legitimacy that can't be measured that in the prospect's mind that you're conveying to them. And like, here's an example: Greatist, Greatist. Yeah, Greatist. Check them out. What they do is they openly say this: hey, everything we write in health has been verified by at least 2 authorities. Like, at the bottom it says, checked out by Dr. So-and-so, checked out by trainer. Like, they've realized that's so important in health, because everyone just says stuff. They actually have 2 authorities check every single one. So that shows you the power of that.
That's all. Yeah, that's a great example. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, great. That's it.
Yeah.
5. Here's a quick recap. Work backwards from your promotion. So start with the end game first. Use your audience's language. Reward the click. Add your keywords naturally into the headline, and command authority early.
Boom.